Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in this video I'm gonna share with you how to create a massive floral bouquet using hydrangeas and beautiful boxwoods. It is perfect for a wedding, for church work, or just to have it around the home, which is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna show you step by step because in this series I wanna share with you floral design for beginners step by step so that you can also create beautiful bouquets to put around your home. And I know a lot of you guys are the ones that help with the flowers at church, so I'm gonna give you all of the tips and the tricks on how to become a floral designer. So let's get started, and I'm gonna start by pointing out some of the things that we're going to use and some other things I'm going to talk to you guys as I go. But I want to show you right here, I've selected this terracotta pot and I already put some of the gray florist foam. I have a selection of white hydrangeas. I have this beautiful urn, of course, because I am obsessed with urn arrangements. I'm gonna use a little bit of this lamb's ear, as well as some of the dogwood from Walmart. And for my greenery, I'm gonna use a variety of greeneries like this palm leaf, and then also I'm gonna use some moss to create this beautiful bouquet. So if you wanna know how to create beautiful flower arrangements, and if you just wanna learn tips and tricks on how to create beautiful floral arrangements, if you want to be a floral designer, we're getting started with this floral designer for beginners series. So let me get this done and ready, all situated, and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Okay, so when you're starting any floral bouquet, whether it's large or small, the very first thing you need to do is prep your container. I used to work at a flower shack for many years, about 15 years to be exact, and I learned this terminology. Piss poor prep makes for piss poor performance. Say that 3 times fast, but I do believe it's true. So you always have to prep your containers, whether it's a glass container or a large urn like this one, so your job is easier and faster. Remember, you're just as good as you are fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this container right here inside of my urn because I want it to be removable. And I found this terracotta pot at Home Depot and it was super affordable. And this is also a trick that you can do with fresh flowers. If you're doing a fresh floral bouquet, that is another trick that you can do. Now, because you don't want this to be this unsightly, what you need to do is you need to grab some of this green moss. And if you guys been following the channel, you know that I like to get my moss from Walmart because it is affordable and, well, it is something that you really don't need to spend a lot of money on. But what you do need to do is make sure that all of the perimeter is very well covered with this moss because you want it to look as professional done as possible, whether it is for your home or for a gathering. This is going to be something that is perfect for a wedding, which I do have a floral design for beginners series coming up with fresh flowers for weddings, for churches. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. By the time of this series, I promise you, all of you are going to be florists. I promise you. All right, so this is step number 1. I'm gonna clean real quick and I'll be right back to show you step number 2. Okay, so the next step after we prepped our container, which means we put our foam inside and then we cover it with moss, is going to be to green it. So step number 2 is gonna be to green it. And I found this beautiful palm foliage at Hobby Lobby and it was only $13, you guys, and it was half off. You know, they have that half off, and so you get all of this greenery. Look how much greenery you get for about $7, I want to say. Now, you know that I like to cut it all at once because it cuts your time in half. And while I cut this, I really do want to take a second to thank every single one of you who sent me some messages on our last video, and they've been praying for me. I just want to let you know that I'm doing much better. I know that it's a process to get off of that gray cloud that just seemed to never want to leave, but I'm doing a lot better. I'm laughing again, so that's a start. And I just want to thank you all so much for taking your time to write a beautiful comment or to send me a prayer. I know the prayers work, so thank you guys so much. With that said, what we're going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this down for a second. That's gonna be our second greenery, but I do need this space to show you what I'm doing. This right here is a pick machine, and you can find it on Amazon.com, or you can also call our friends at Shinoda. I think they do have them, and what that does is it puts a steel pick right here, and that helps it to can you hear the foam going in? It helps you to adhere to the foam and stay there. And that is a step that you cannot skip if you are doing this for a wedding, or if you're doing this for sale, or if you're doing this for your church, because you don't want the arrangement to start crumbling down. Now the other thing is, you do need to get yourself one of these Lazy Susans, because look, they do come in handy when you want to rotate. Now remember that always use the same foliage of the same size at the same time, one at a time, and that's going to create what we call balance. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right, and I'll show you right here. So insert one left, one right, then you rotate about 180 degrees, and then you go ahead and do the same thing right here. And you want to start pulling those foliages down. Now remember also, what goes down must come up. So I'm gonna start by adding some of this right here, and adding all, like I said, the same foliage of the same size at the same time. And this is going to be our first foliage. Like I said, I do recommend to go to Hobby Lobby, because they have some of the best foliage like this palm for very affordable, you guys. The flowers that we're using are also some from Hobby Lobby. Some of those white hydrangeas that come in a bush, they are so affordable. I was just there today trying to get some of these greeneries, and well, let me tell you, look, you don't even need much. Remember, what goes up must come down. What happens on the left happens on the right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert right here. And I really do hope that you are learning some tricks. These do come in handy if your daughter is getting married, or if you're having some wedding in the family. Well, you can save them some money by doing the flowers yourself. And I worked as a florist for such a long time, and I learned so many tricks that I'm now so excited to, well, share with you guys, so you too can create beautiful things for your family members and for everybody, for church. I know, like I said, a lot of you who do the flowers at church, and you know, doing the flowers at church when I lived, before I moved to San Diego, was one of my favorite things to do. Because we got to do some amazing arrangements. I'm gonna put some on the screen right now. We used to do some beautiful, beautiful arrangements, especially for Easter. And so I love doing that. All right, so this is so far so good. I'm gonna put, this is gonna be the last one that I'm gonna use like this, because remember, I always like to save some of this foliage for the end to fill in the gaps if we have any gaps. So I'm gonna just save some of this. I'm gonna put it to the side. I'm gonna get ready for the next step, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, so for this step, what we're going to do is we're gonna start inserting our hydrangea, and I'm gonna start right here on the crown, and I wanna make this as full as possible. So I'm gonna determine the height with this particular hydrangea right here. Now, these are from Hobby Lobby. Like I was saying, I found some really good flowers at Hobby Lobby. Sometimes they're pretty long, so you kinda have to get them a little cut. But I always say don't cut too much, because you can always make them shorter, but you can never make them longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start inserting some of these flowers right here. And like I said, I just wanna make sure that I cover as much of the perimeter of my flowers. Now, a lot of people ask me where these wire cutters are from, and these are the best wire cutters, and they are from Home Depot. They are by Stanley, I believe. They cut like butter. It doesn't matter how thick that wire is. All right, so I have this bushel. Again, I'm gonna cut all of them at once. These are from Hobby Lobby, and they were $16 minus 50% off. So that's kind of a steal. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some here to this side. Remember, we want it to be as full as possible, and always rotate your arrangement to make sure that you're getting, well, maximum coverage. I cannot wait to show you guys this fresh flower series. We're gonna do so many options, from inside the home to weddings to funeral work. We're gonna be doing all kinds of floral DIYs, and I am so excited to share with you guys all of the tips and tricks of the trade. Okay, so I'm gonna add a few more, and make sure that you are balancing your bouquet. Remember, you wanna make sure that it goes all the way around, and they are like this one right here. I feel like it's a little too floppy, so you can always take it out. And did you know that on fresh floral arrangements, which we're gonna be talking about soon, once you poke on your foam, you're not supposed to get it out, because you create a bubble of air into your bouquet that will kill the flower, and it will not allow it to live as possible. All right, so I'm doing as many hydrangeas as I can because like I said, I want it to be super full and pretty. And the thing about this gray foam is because it really hangs on to your flower so easily. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here, and then what I'm going to do is at this point it's kind of getting hard to get some flowers in there, and we still have one more flower to add. So I'm gonna clean up real quick, and I will be back with step number 4. I think we're step number 4. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so this is getting a little big. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna move it a little bit to my right to continue to work on it. But I have these really beautiful and long greeneries from Walmart, and I just love how long they are. So what I wanna do is I wanna create some droopage into my bouquet, because remember, you have to have a filler. We're gonna do a thriller that goes up, and then you have to have a spiller. If you remember that, I really don't remember who I heard that from, but it really stuck with me. So I don't want to take the credit for it, but I really don't remember who said that. But if you have a thriller, which is going to be the longer one, a filler, and then a spiller that needs to go down, that's going to give your bouquet some balance, and it's going to look very natural. Now, I always also tell you that you have to use about 2 to 4 types of greeneries. The more type of greeneries you use on your bouquets, the more natural it looks, because that's how flowers grow in the wild. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to spin right here. I'm going to add another spiller right here. And remember, when you add your spillers, to insert and then pull down so they spill downward. I love the way this is looking. It's looking so pretty. Like I said, this is perfect just for around the house, maybe on an entryway table. This is also pretty for church work. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some of this really beautiful dogwood from Walmart, and that's going to be our spiller. Look how pretty that's gonna be. But for that, I do need my picker, my pick machine. I'm gonna be coming out with a video where I tell you all of the things that you need to become a florist, and that's gonna be our first video that we'll do on our Fresh Flower series. I want you to know all of the items that you need to be the best florist in town, because, well, there's certain tools that you need to have, you know, to do a good job as a florist. And what you're going to do inserting this dogwood is, what I want you to do is first of all fluff them a little bit, give them a little life, because when they come out of the store, they come out like this. Well, that's not how flowers grow, so you have to give them some character, give them a little bend, especially this particular type of flower, and as well as forsythia. They're flowers that grow kind of like on a branch. They're pretty branchy. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find a hollow space like right here, and that's where we're going to insert our dogwood. And you're going to start going around, like I want to see it right here. There's also another space where I could use another branch. So what I'm going to do is pick my branch, and then I'm gonna do this, and always also give them a little bend, so that way it looks more natural. All right, let me see, what else do I have? I have some shorter ones, and for those shorter ones, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put a pick on them, and then I'm gonna start going down towards the spillers, like this right here. You also wanna fill in with the smaller branches on the smaller hollow places where you feel like you need some filler, like right here. You want to start to bring it down. All right, so don't forget to put a little pick on it. All right, so I'm gonna put one right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do another one right here. I'm gonna do a longer one. This pick machine, you guys, I'm telling you, it's an investment. If you're thinking about opening a business, a florist, or a crafting, this is also perfect for wreath making. I really do recommend you get yourself one. They are an investment, but they're so worth it. All right, so far so good. I have a few more left, so I'm gonna cut them. I'm gonna add all of them to the top, but I'm gonna add them like this, like a bigger branch, because I really want it to be, I want it to be fuller on the top. I'm gonna put a pick on it. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these videos. Summer is almost here, and it is some of my favorite time of the year because the DIYs are more homier. I feel like that you don't need as many to really give your home a summer feel. Okay, I'm gonna add one right here. Looking so good. What do you guys think? All right, I'm gonna save this to the end. So now what I'm gonna bring is my next foliage that is going to finish it. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm almost out of the frame of the camera, but what I want you to do is grab some of these really beautiful limbs here and look how pretty this looks with the whites and the creams. So what we're going to do is we're gonna basically fill in. This is gonna be like a filler item like this right here. You don't wanna use a lot of it because you don't wanna take away from the hydrangea, but you do want to cover some of the void with these. Look how beautiful that looks. The gray of it and the green of it, it really just adds so much to the bouquet. Just make sure that it does go on the foam like that. And remember, what goes up must come down. So always put some right here on your crown and then start spinning around to see where is it that you need some of that bigger foliage to fill in some of the spots. Look how pretty that looks just in between the hydrangeas. It really gives it that natural look. I'm gonna add another one right here. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna give it a quick little fluff. I'm gonna put it inside and show you what it looks like. So I just want to show you real quick how beautiful this bouquet looks like right here on my entryway table. It really complements the look of the house and I just love it. It is nothing but a whole bunch of hydrangeas, duckwood, and some really pretty greeneries, and I cannot wait to read your comments. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite flower to decorate with.